These are the Piper pants, and in this video I will show you step by step how to sew these yourself. The sewing pattern is available on my Etsy shop, which is linked in the description box below. The materials you will need for these pants are 1.5 to 2.5 meters of lightweight, slightly stretchy fabric of your choice, top stitching thread in a contrasting color to your fabric, an 8-inch long zipper, a zipper foot, an iron, and your sewing machine, and optionally an overlocker. The pattern includes 1 centimeter seam allowance. If you are using any natural fabric, please make sure to thoroughly iron the entire piece of fabric before cutting your pattern pieces. The sewing of these pants will involve a lot of ironing, which causes natural fibers to shrink, so if we pre-shrink them, the pants will end up fitting us better. After cutting our pattern pieces, we should go ahead and overlock them. This can also be done with a zigzag stitch on a sewing machine. When using an overlocker, you can actually just turn the piece around its corners. There is no need to keep cutting the thread and restart the seam. At this stage, I would recommend you sew along the crotch, inner and outer leg seams with a very loose basting stitch, just to check if the pants actually fit you, and if they do, simply remove those stitches and begin the actual assembly. We start by attaching the back flare piece to the back pant piece right sides together. Next, we need to open that seam and iron it flat. We can now top stitch on each side of the seam. I would recommend to top stitch 0.5 centimeter away from the seam. And we of course repeat this with the other back piece too. Moving on to the front flare. We are going to sew the top of 2 front flare pieces right sides together. You are free to choose how much you want to close them up. I made my seam about 15 centimeters long. We again fold the seam allowance down and iron it flat, and continue ironing the opening of the flare, but we are not going to top stitch it yet. Now we can attach the front flare piece to our front pant piece right sides together. We again iron the seam allowance flat and top stitch it. And we of course repeat this with the other front piece too. Next, we need to attach the back waistband pieces along the center back. And we again iron the seam allowance flat and top stitch it. Now we can attach both back waistband pieces together along the top edge. We again iron the seam allowance flat to each side. Moving on to the front waistband pieces, we are going to sew them right sides together along the longest side. And once again, we iron the seam allowance flat. Next, we can close the front crotch. And then again, iron the seam allowance to each side. We repeat the same process on the back pieces. We can now attach the back waistband to the back pant piece, making sure we align both center seams directly over each other. And we again iron the seam allowance flat. Now at this stage, you want to decide on which side of the pants you want to have your zipper. I chose for mine to be on the right side, which is why I am now attaching the right front waistband to the front pant piece. For this, we simply pin the bottom side of the waistband along the front of the pants and then pivot over to also attach the other edge. Due to the fabric being at opposite angles, we have to ease the fabric in when pinning and sewing, making sure not to catch any overlapping fabric. We want to only sew along the actual seam and leave 1 cm seam allowance at the tip of the triangle shape of our waistband piece. This time, when ironing the seam allowance, we first iron it open and then fold the top seam allowance to face downwards and iron over that as well. We can now insert the zipper, for which we will need a zipper foot. We start by slightly opening the zipper and pinning it right sides together to the side of our front piece that has the waistband attached. Because our waistband is double-sided, we only start attaching the zipper from the top of our outer waistband, leaving the lining at the top. To make sure we are perfectly aligning the zipper on the back piece, we need to mark the seam between waistband and front piece onto the other side of the zipper. Using that mark, we can then pin this directly onto the seam between back piece and waistband and start pinning the zipper onto the back piece outwards from there. Before we take this to the sewing machine, we need to double check if it does in fact align. The waistline at the back does however go up at an angle, so it therefore is only the very tip of that seam that needs to align. We can then go ahead and stitch this down and should hopefully be left with a very clean and aligned zipper. From here we can now close this side seam of our pants, for now only the side seam where the zipper is inserted. For this we start by aligning the top stitching on the front with the top stitching on the back and pin outwards from here. When we reach the end of the zipper, we need to slightly pull the zipper tail outwards and sew up to the bottom of our zipper to close the entire seam. We of course iron this seam flat, with the seam allowance opening to the sides under our iron. We can now finish the zipper by folding the waistband lining right sides together over the zipper and outer waistband pieces. We are going to sew along the sides of both waistband pieces, encasing the zipper in between. We need to follow the stitching from attaching the zipper very closely and basically sew over that same line again. And we of course do this on both sides. We can then snip some of the seam allowance in the corner of our waistbands to reduce bulk. When we pull the waistband right sides out, it leaves us with this neatly finished zipper and waistband. We can now top stitch all around the zipper. And now we should press the front waistband piece. After that, we can top stitch along the top of this front waistband piece. We can now start attaching the other front waistband to the pants by aligning the little triangle shape with the shape of the pants. For now, we will only attach the waistband to the seam allowance of our other waistband piece. This is just to remove bulk in the seams. We again want to make sure that when we stitch these together, we pay attention to the seam allowance and leave the very tip of the spike unstitched. We can then iron the waistband down. Now we can close the other side seam of these pants by folding both waistband pieces open and align the entire side seam. We do have opposite angles in the waistbands, as the back waistband has to pull in at the top. We will once again just ease the fabric in. And we of course start again by aligning the top stitching below the knees, then align the seams of the waistbands and then pin outwards from there. We also iron the seam allowance open. This is a little more tricky now with the other side of the pants also being closed, so we might have to work in stages. We can now close the inner leg seam. For this we start by first aligning the crotch seams, then the top stitching further down the legs and once again pin outwards from there. We do need to iron the seam as well to lay flat, however these are now fully closed pants, so I just took some leftover fabric to protect my hand from the inside and worked my way through the pants. Next we can open the zipper to make the next steps easier, as we are now going to top stitch the entire waistband. For this we simply follow along the entire length of the top of the waistband. Now we can also top stitch the bottom of the waistband, which will also secure the waistband on the inside of the pants. For this we sew below the bottom waistband seam. We want to try and catch the inside of the waistband fully, however where that isn't the case we can close those areas with a hand stitch later. We might have a little excess seam allowance from the spikes of our crisscross waistband pieces, which we can simply chop off now. We can now move on to hemming the bottoms. For this we simply fold the bottom of the flares inwards for about 1 cm and stitch it down. At the end of each corner we will fold the triangle of our flare tips diagonally inside and continue pinning. We want to make sure to leave ½ cm seam allowance to each side and not sew along the entire edge. The very last step is to now complete the front flare top stitching, and with that also hem the insides of the front flare pieces. We simply pin and fold 1 cm of the front flares inside and then top stitch this down. However, we continue with the top stitching all the way up to where we initially attached the flare pieces to our front piece. We want to insert the needle directly into the last stitch of our bottom hem and top stitch from there. We might have to remove the sewing arm to have enough clearance to reach to the top of the flare. And we will stop the top stitching as we reach our vertical top stitch. And with that, we have finally finished the Piper pants. I personally am obsessed with this style. I think the crossover waist is so flattering and the pants look so unique and special. You can really dress these up or down, and you can choose a variety of fabric for these. There are so many options. The pattern is so versatile, as we can make these longer for a full length pant or make them shorter for a capri style pant. I also love that these pants suit a variety of shoes, my personal favorite being the kitten heel, but they do also look great with some sneakers or even with a cute boot. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments, and other than that, thank you so much for watching.